Renault-Nissan-Mitsubishi has created Innovation Lab in an open innovation approach.
They are strategically located within recognized and specific innovation ecosystem.
And Israel is a key innovation hub.
Here, within the Alliance Innovation Lab, Tel Aviv, we aim to bridge the world-leading automotive alliance and the Israeli automotive startup ecosystem.
We build on an advanced engineering team located here in Israel, and we operate a unique and large facility located in Park Atidim, Tel Aviv, to provide startups with the right space and vehicles to run proof of concepts.
To date, the Alliance Innovation Lab has led more than 15 collaborative projects and POCs with Israeli startups.
Since 2018, we have also operated under the new Labs program of the Israeli Innovation Authority, offering to startups advantageous opportunities for governmental funding.
In addition, Allianz Venture, a strategic venture capital fund, has already invested in the Israeli fund Maniv Mobility and in 2 Israeli startups.
Innovation is a team game that can, in our view, only be played with the wider ecosystem.
But what best to illustrate our open innovation approach than a testimony? Shalom, Antoine Basseville. Happy to host you in the Alliance Innovation Lab of Tel Aviv in this beautiful place with a lot of place for cars and for people, both at the same level all together. We are working here to make the connection for the Alliance, standing for Renault and Nissan and Mitsubishi and the local ecosystem. The goal is to start the first phases, let's say, with a startup, and then to give the lead to experts within the Alliance to be able to deploy, to apply those solutions within those 3 groups that are Renault and Nissan and Mitsubishi.
So I'm Gil, VP Sales at Upstream. Upstream is a cloud-based cybersecurity solution provider that provides cybersecurity coverage both for the connected car infrastructure as well as smart mobility models that you build on top of that. And we've been approached by the Alliance Lab about a year ago and started in deep dive evaluation that started on the technical side, understand the product, check how resilient it is, how bulletproof it is, and then of course see if it fits the Alliance cybersecurity roadmap. And then we move forward with that.
We made something like 400 startups. Still there are new ones each day, but also some ones that are disappearing. But I think we have today a good view on what is available here. But just the beginning of the next step, that is the one that is really important, leading from the expert side, technologies coming from here. Same things for upstream. We have this beautiful connection, and then to apply it as much as possible and as soon as possible also. Cars are more and more connected, that's obvious, but it means it's a lot of good opportunities, but it's also a few, let's say, risks. And so we are looking for sure to cyber protection for our cars, for our services, not only in the car, also for the communication level, for the cloud level, and so on. And in this field, the solution provided by Upstream is really the easiest and one of the best solutions to be able to protect not only our cars, so it means what is really running inside the car, but also the business model, okay? How the people will use our cars and how they will pay for it, how they will finance also those services, and Upstream for that, install in the cloud. It's easier than to add computers, app, and so on inside the car. Is a very good solution for us.
They have approached us about a year ago, came with a long list of requirements where they were trying to find a solution that will fit to their cybersecurity roadmap. Among the features that were requested is, of course, no in-vehicle installation because they had to have something that can be deployed rather quickly. They had to have something that has a field-proven track records, meaning that it was already tested and verified in production, and that it can go with the corporate business needs and challenges. So that was the first engagement entry criteria. The first thing we did is actually we had several technical workshops where the Alliance Lab did a deep dive into our technology.
We took this solution and we evaluated it with several use cases and a penetration testing. We manipulate it, we abuse it, we try to tweak it a little bit. We built a lot of use cases in order to see if the solution can fit to our needs.
Once they concluded that there is a good fit there, we engage in a POC, multi-stage POC. The first stage was where the Alliance Lab brought in an independent cybersecurity penetration test vendor that tested the resilience of the upstream C for both deployment architecture and services, ran several PT on the services and concluded indeed the system is bulletproof and production worthy. And then we started to dive into the use cases. So the Alliance Lab cybersecurity expert came in with a long list of scenarios that they needed to verify the system, both on the cybersecurity and on the smart mobility, that again were a result of their cybersecurity roadmap, and started to test the system. Of course, using our support, we developed different attack scenarios that were short range, long range, on the mobiles, on the vehicle, on the cloud, and from every possible angle. We ran it for a while, tested it, and indeed confirmed that the system behaved as expected. And again, we had some back and forth there to tune policies, to tune more attack scenarios, until we really satisfied their long checklist. And then once we concluded that, this was a good time for the Alliance Lab to introduce Upstream to the cooperate and engage with them to expand the evaluation process.
The process, I think, that was really the right one and that we apply with Upstream was to check that, okay, the system seems to be what we are looking for, the software is the right one, we're getting the needs we have within the Alliance, but then, okay, you need to test it, to check it precisely. So we made it here, thanks also to LDAD and also to a penetration test to check that it's really robust, it's fitting our needs. But then also going back to experts to check what are their more precise, let's say, requirements, if we miss something and so on. And that's the reason why with also the experts within the Alliance, we decided to add new layers of checking, let's say, okay, and new rules and so on. So Upstream developed very specific use cases, apply those use cases to their system to really check that it's also compliant with those new rules, let's say, coming from the Alliance. And the way we made it, it's also the right result from the first stage that was the local POC. We confirmed together that the solution is not only a good solution, but it can be also fitted to precise needs that we have within the business model also, for instance. And then we say, okay, let's do something with them. Let's try to see if it's valuable also to invest in Upstream. And so there was this huge discussion, huge exchanges to say, okay, it seems to be so good, we can do something more than just having a POC. And so one of those stages is the one that is known as an investment by Alliance Venture to confirm that this connection made together is not just a one shot. Okay, exactly. It's a very good thing to continue all together. Yeah. It's valuable for us, it's valuable for you.
Correct.
It's a very good opportunity to work all together and to provide to the Alliance a solution that will comply to needs and will be applied. We dream of that.